shiver me timbers. I ain't afraid of no black spot. Yar, Jim boy, yar.
Is that your cold opening, John?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know how to actually start this thing.
I got one for you. Yeah.
Okay, lay it on me.
Let's set sail, lads!
To where?
A better year, hopefully.
Maybe. All right. All right, welcome to the Nerdvana podcast for the first episode of the new year, January 2021. Yes, and you know, it sort of feels like things are about to get a little bit better.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so. Well, for this month, we are going to be talking about a modern classic, a Disney film, which is kind of funny since last month we were talking about another modern classic that was pretty much anti-Disney.
I did notice that.
Yeah. Now, I know what you're thinking. Was that planned? No, it wasn't. Absolutely not. It just happened.
You act like we have a plan.
Well, I'm not acting. Well, I know we don't have a plan. I mean, but anyone who's listening, they probably think, was that part of the plan? No. If you have to ask,
we have no plan.
If you have to ask that, you have not been with us long enough.
No, there is no rhyme or reason generally as to the order in which we review movies. We just do whatever the heck we want.
But anyway, it is the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, The Curse of the Black Pearl. The Disney classic that actually revitalized the pirate genre and actually kind of brought it out of the darkness in a way. So, Ian, do you kind of know sort of like just the general history of pirate movies?
I know a little bit. I know that in the past they were more campy, a little goofy, more aimed towards kids from what I recall. And this was one of the first real modern take on it to take it somewhat seriously.
Well, not only that, but they were also,
from what I know,
they were also box office poison. They would never do well in theaters. So,
of course.
Yeah, but you know, kind of like what Star Wars did for the sci-fi genre, what Lord of the Rings did for the fantasy genre, Pirates of the Caribbean pretty much just said, hey, pirate movies can also be good, and they can bring in money and generate fans. Just need to have the right people and the right touch. Yes, and surely Disney is not gonna screw this up like it's done with its past properties in the last few years.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, let's note my sarcasm.
That's all Disney does now.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I should say. Usually.
Yep. All right, but anyway, so Ian, you would have been like very young. You would have been a kid when this movie came out. This came out in 2003. I was about 13 when it came out. So was this like a childhood favorite of yours?
Yeah, I saw it in my early teens. That's when I first saw this because it was on TV. So I said, might as well see what this is about. Sounds cool. I loved it. I still love it.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters, and it was really amazing. And I loved when I got the DVD. I loved going through the special features, like how they made it, and also this was also back when Disney put in a lot of content in their extra features too. So there was one that was kind of all about history of pirates, their superstitions and other famous pirates from around the world, and it was amazing. And what's great about Pirates of the Caribbean is that it's for everyone. Actually, it's for kids, but it's not too kid friendly that even adults can like it. But nor is it too adult that kids won't see it. I mean, it's still PG-13.
Yeah.
But it's a night. It definitely just walks a tight line very perfectly between being just being like a kids movie or a family movie and a serious flick.
Oh yeah.
This was actually the movie that introduced me to Johnny Depp in pretty much the role he would continue to play.
Oh yeah, same. Absolutely, same.
And let's see, Orlando Bloom, fresh off of his success with the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. In fact, that's kind of how he got the part. I found out from IMDb. Introducing us to Keira Knightley, very beautiful, as well as the acting range of Jeffrey Rush playing Hector Barbosa. And in true Disney fashion, the villain is the one we like the most.
Oh my god, I don't know. This is a toss-up, honestly.
It is a pretty good toss-up. Well, when you think about it, Jack's not exactly a good guy either.
Granted, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, those are the kind of protagonists, I guess I could say, that I like, where they make questionable choices. They're not this white knight.
Yeah, they're like Deadpool.
Venom.
Yeah, so they're anti-heroes.
Oh, I love it so much. That's good writing if you can pull that off well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So the whole story about it is simply that the plot is that that Keira Knightley's character, Elizabeth Swann, pretty much kind of commandeered a trinket that was actually part of a pirate's treasure. Well, several years when she was a kid, several years down the road, it sends a shockwave and summons the pirates, and she's kidnapped. So it's your basic, rescue the kidnapped princess. But then it kind of switches it up. But it switches it up because now it's kind of a fight again for this MacGuffin, just like in Indiana Jones. In Race to the Edge, the first season, actually, if you remember.
That takes me back. Hard to believe that was over 5 years now, dude.
Yeah, going on 6 this year, actually. Good times.
Oh man.
But instead of just being your usual swashbuckling, raise the gangplank, walk the plank, there's an element of supernatural to it, which is awesome, actually. Which is kind of awesome. It definitely, I don't know if any other pirate movies have done that, but it definitely puts a fresh spin to it.
The DreamWorks movie Sinbad, they kind of did that.
But was that after or before?
No clue.
Sinbad.
It came out around the same time, I think.
Yes, same time, actually.
Oh. Wait. Is this going into that whole, DreamWorks Disney copying thing again?
Probably.
Oh, god damn it.
Funny enough, that was the movie that apparently convinced Jeffrey Katzenberg that traditional animation was dead. Well, maybe if you had a more original idea, it wouldn't happen.
You would think, but
All right. So, but anyway, it's pretty much it. These pirates are cursed because they stole a treasure from Aztecs. Well, not stole. It was actually, yes, they did. Yes, they did steal it, but that was because well, it was cursed. I mean, you don't mess with cursed objects. So the whole race, the whole reason for the fight and for this medallion is because it's the last piece that will help lift the curse from these undead walking skeleton beef jerky covered pirates that only look that way when the moonlight hits them.
Which is a good touch. It tapped into that whole werewolf thing.
That whole werewolf
kind
thing.
of zombies, all that stuff.
It kind of taps into the whole icon of pirates, with the whole skull, skull and bones and treasures, that kind of thing.
My God, yeah. And it does it in a very good way.
Yes.
Very good way.
But surprise, surprise, good guy wins, bad guys lose. Everything's hunky dory. All that, and it's nice. It's wrapped up in a nice little bow. No really need for a sequel. Oh wait, money says we need a sequel.
We'll get to that, John.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Maybe, but let's focus on this one.
Oh yes, of course.
Okay, so what makes Curse of the Black Pearl so good? Why did it succeed when other pirate movies have failed?
I don't know. I think just the revitalizing concept of it all, because I think up to this point pirate movies were dead, essentially.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
So I think it was about time that, hey, let's do a pirate movie. Yeah, one of those hasn't been made in a while. Might be fun.
Well, considering the fact the last pirate movie, which was a huge box office disappointment, or anything involving, seafaring genre was in the 90s. That was Cutthroat Island and Waterworld. Waterworld is infamous for being very expensive, but not being good enough to make any of its money back. Cutthroat Island, I don't know about that, but according to Tyler, when he told me about it, it was a movie so bad it just about killed the pirate genre.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And I think that might have to do with executive meddling, with the whole editing kind of thing. I don't know if it was done by Fox, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Alien!
Yeah.
Considering what they did with, Alien 3 in the 90s.
So here comes Disney actually taking a big risk on a genre that probably would not be successful, compared to Disney now, where they just try to copy and paste their old material but give it a new face.
I call that laziness.
Yeah, where is that determination? Where's that gumption? Where's that guts?
Who's in charge of Disney now?
Bob Iger, but I don't know for how long.
Hopefully he's gone soon. Disney has a lot of potential.
Funny thing is, Bob Iger is the one that kind of brought Disney back from the dark days back in 2006. Kind of helped revitalize it, and now, let's just say bad decision. He's involved in kind of bad decisions now.
Oh boy.
But anyway, I think it's also the fact that it tries to treat it very seriously. I mean, there's for a Disney movie, there's some things that are kind of pretty graphic. I mean, just in the, I mean, in the very, I mean, in the first 2 minutes, you have a guy mimicking hanging, being hung.
And then you have the remnants of an attack.
Remnants of an attack, yep.
One survivor that we know of, and we can presume only survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Because none other were mentioned, and rule of filmmaking, if none other were mentioned, that means all died. Unless otherwise stated.
Oh, they'll probably be saving that for the 6th movie. As is the usual progression, as is the usual progression with Disney, it's always retcon. Retcon this, retcon that, everything's a retcon. Yeah, I know. If this sounds a lot like bashing, like a Disney bash, I can't help it. Can't help it. I mean, we're talking about a movie from one of the good old days.
Oh yeah. Back when they took initiative.
Mm-hmm. So it treats the subject very seriously, not like Peter Pan, swashbuckly kind of kid friendly.
Thank you.
Yeah. What? For what?
Thank you for doing the taking it seriously thing, Disney.
Yeah. But also kind of making sure that it's not that there won't be any parents complaining. I mean, this was actually Disney's first PG-13 movie under its own banner. Usually it would have usually have Touchstone do that. But it's amazing. So you have a movie that doesn't really treat kids like they're stupid, and it also doesn't treat adults like they're just, they're so sensitive or squeamish, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and also I like a little bit of the accuracy in the movie, such as like poor hygiene of pirates, the treatment of women, as well as their good God sadistic sense of fashion.
Oh, the corset.
The corset, yeah. I'm kind of
that actually I've been doing some research on that for a side project I'm working on, and apparently corsets actually weren't that bad. It's just that men and such in the late 1800s started to push that narrative that corsets were harmful. If a corset hurt, it was either very new or it wasn't stretched out enough.
Really?
Women would wear it like small amounts every day just to get used to it.
Well, that's good research on your part and the story writer's part, because I think that would explain why Elizabeth was just having so much trouble with that. It was new.
It was new, but you don't wear that style of corset to a big function like that for an expanded period of time. You did it little by little. In fact, corsets are technically still worn today, so meh.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, most of the time for like orthopedic stuff, just for like keeping the spine straight for people who have that issue.
Oh, like scoliosis?
Yes.
All right. But what I kind of also liked is, looking back on it, this was actually one of the earliest examples of actually giving women more proactive roles in the movies.
Oh yeah.
Elizabeth is pretty much a badass character, even just in the first movie. It kind of looks like she's gonna play the typical damsel in distress. But what's good about that's kind of the other thing I like about Pirates of the Curse of the Black Pearl, essentially, is that it sets your expectation, but perfectly subverts it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's not just the damsel in distress. She's proactive.
She's very
Apparently she's done research on pirate, because she's fairly knowledgeable. She goes directly to the captain.
Well, of course she would had knowledge. She did research on pirates. Remember when we saw her as a little girl, she said that she finds pirates fascinating.
And that's what concerns me, as her
Yeah.
father said.
Oh, afraid your girl's gonna have a bad boy phase. Newsflash, that has not changed in 200 years.
I don't think it will ever change.
Yeah.
I think that's just humans.
Mm-hmm. So it makes sense she'd be knowledgeable about pirate lore and code and all of that, and it. Yeah, she's very proactive. She doesn't just sit down on the sidelines. I mean, she takes action, and that's what I like. And it feels organic. It doesn't feel forced.
She's not, gung ho going at them with, a minigun, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
I know they didn't have them. Bear with me, people. But it's very realistic in how anybody really would handle that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like standard everyday people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for example, your sister, how would your sister handle being on a ship manned by undead pirates?
Oh, let's see. I'm sure that she would probably be, she would probably be nervous on the inside. But then if she found out that they were actually the Walking Dead, I think even if a guy found out, they would just freak out. It's like, what the hell is this?
Probably the same for about 5 minutes. Then me, my analytical nature, I'd be like, so how does this curse work? You know full well that'd be me.
Probably. So what makes it real, what kind of makes it more real and organic is that, well, of course the writers kind of treat her as human. The entire ship scene that kind of builds up to the reveal that these pirates are undead. What Barbosa's giving the history lesson of that Aztec gold. Elizabeth's going like, I don't believe in ghost stories anymore. And then when it builds, then when she stabs Barbosa, she's also smart. She knows that knife, chest, die. That will work. That will work. And then
generally,
yeah. But then doesn't work. Runs away, and then, oh my God,
zombies!
What is that? What is this? And seeing a bunch of walking skeletons tossed into the air, then grabbed and swung around. Then sees a monkey screeching at her, and pretty much when Barbosa gives the famous trailer line, you best start believing in ghost stories. You're in one. That's good. That's good. Then runs and hides in the corner. That's not okay. That's something a real person would do when they see something shocking.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, pure instinct. Oh my gosh, I need somewhere safe.
Mm-hmm. We meet. How did we get here? Did we were just talking about the genre, and then we just moved on to characters, I guess.
We're going back into the previous thing. So much for our schedule or formula or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just. We talked about Elizabeth, so let's just keep going with characters.
Well, let's see. Have we exhausted everything about why Curse of the Black Pearl worked as a pirate movie when previous pirate movies failed?
Is simply the two words Johnny Depp an answer?
Probably. Probably. I guess, yeah. Well, Johnny. Okay, yeah, Johnny Depp. I mean, he pretty much made the role of Captain Jack Sparrow. I mean, iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, we'll go on to characters. We'll continue with that. Who's next? Should we talk about Will Turner?
Sure.
I wonder, when I rewatched this earlier for the review, I just kind of realized this movie came out in 2003, and it features a thin, lanky, brown-haired kid who's a blacksmith in love with someone of higher standing. Does that sound familiar, Ian?
I was just thinking about that, dude. It really does. Looked over at poster on wall. Gee, what movie does this remind me of?
Okay, granted, we'll give DreamWorks the benefit of the doubt. They might have taken that for How to Train Your Dragon, but at least it focused on Vikings and dragons and not pirates. Even though in the book series, pirates do exist. Just saying.
But I think Carissa Cow was writing. No, she actually was writing the book series when this film came out.
I don't know if in the book series Hiccup is a blacksmith apprentice though.
That is true. Anyway.
All right. Will Turner's his character arc is something that I like. I mean, he's actually your typical protagonist. Is in love with the leading actress. Different social status. It's the usual kind of stuff. Who loves her so much that when she's kidnapped, immediately wants to go after to rescue her. So, pretty much par for the course in that regards to the films from the 2000s. Here's what's interesting is that he's actually related to a pirate.
Mm-hmm. Bootstrap Bill Turner.
Mm-hmm. When he comes to that realization, I mean, it finally just dawned on me. And remember, I haven't seen this movie in a long time, and I wasn't as well versed in filmmaking or writing or storytelling as I am now. But when Will makes the realization that the pirates needed his blood, or by extension his father's blood, to lift the curse, it just reminded me, oh yeah, I remember Sparrow said that pirate is in your blood, boy, so you'll have to square with that sooner or later. Well, turns out, yeah.
Yeah. Good writing. Good writing.
Oh yeah, and so he does start out as kind of like a stick in the mud, only addressing Elizabeth by her surname, Miss Swan, even though she insists on calling her by her first name. And he's also kind of spineless. I mean, remember Governor Swan assuming that the sword that was given was made by his master?
Yeah.
He doesn't say, actually, I made it.
Oh, come on, dude. Take credit for your work.
Mm-hmm.
Governor seems nice enough guy.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think I'm talking too much again, Ian. How about you continue this?
Well,
about Will Turner or
Will Turner. Well, I don't know. What else is there to talk about? Yeah, he's spineless. He's good with swords because he practices 3 hours a day. You need to find yourself a girl, mate.
I'm talking about more of his character arc throughout the whole movie. You know,
Yeah, he does grow a spine, especially when confronting Barbosa.
Mm-hmm.
That's up to that point. That's kind of out of character for him, but it's a natural growth. I like that. He generally takes more initiative, probably from hanging around Jack a little too much and having to put up with his shit. But overall, yeah, Will Turner is he the protagonist?
I have no idea. I think this movie has two protagonists. That being Will Turner and Jack Sparrow. The story is kind of centered around Will and Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering, because Jack Sparrow is kind of like a side character, but he takes center stage.
Exactly, yeah. And so to kind of symbolizes, how different he is from the beginning. He rescues Jack in donning like full buccaneer regalia.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's a new look. I like it. Yeah. Nice hat.
Your transformation is complete.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
John's pulling out the voices and references again. Although that's what we do here.
Yes, that's what we do. And even standing up to Commodore Norrington.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I do say that Will and Elizabeth, they were the central characters in their story, and it was kind of all about Will's growth.
Yeah.
All right, now we can move on to the interesting characters.
Yay!
Not to say that Elizabeth wasn't interesting, but we all know who kind of holds is the tentpole of this franchise.
Jeffrey Rush as Barbosa.
Yes. Honestly, I think what's most impressive, not by for the bad pirates, and this also includes for Jeffrey Rush, is the makeup that was done.
Oh my gosh, yes. Do you even bathe?
I don't think they would feel it. Could they? They said they can't feel, they can't taste, or touch. Can they smell? They can hear, apparently.
Yes. Yeah.
Can
they smell? I don't know. Whatever. We might be overthinking it.
Yeah. But yeah, Jeffrey Rush, I mean, he was amazing as Barbosa. And God, I can't... that voice of his.
Oh my gosh, yes. If there is the quintessential pirate in this movie, it is Captain Barbosa.
Yes, it is.
And he's like the classic pirate. And in the sequel, he gets a peg leg.
Yeah, he pretty much becomes a stereotypical pirate as the movies progress.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
Let's see. I loved his monologue about the Aztec gold.
Oh my gosh!
I mean,
yeah.
it was my favorite. It was my favorite one to recite and also just try to imitate that voice, because it's really hypnotic. It really does draw you in.
Oh yeah, it's like Quint's speech about the what is that name?
The Indianapolis.
That's it. Yeah, it's like that.
That is. Thank you for pointing that out, because I was trying to say, how can you describe Barbosa? I wanted to say, well, he has like the voice of Emperor Palpatine mixed with, but I couldn't find anything else like to compare him to. And then it's like, okay, it's like Emperor Palpatine, with the voice mixed with Quint from Jaws.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. He was a really great character, and Jeffrey clearly loved every moment of being on set.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
See, I don't know if I read this, or I don't know if I found it anywhere, but I think the whole calling the monkey Jack was actually improvised by him.
So much in the first two movies was freaking improvised.
I
wouldn't be surprised.
Probably. The other thing that another thing that kind of does make a character memorable is when you give them like a quirk, or some kind what's the word I'm looking for? A characteristic. And for Barbosa, he seems to love apples.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of amazing. It's kind of amazing. It's kind of goes along with that whole theme of the curse and greed, because what does an apple stand for, Ian?
Well, it depends what your source material is.
Okay. How about in Catholicism?
Could we expand that to simple Christianity in general?
Okay, fine. If you want to split hairs about it, yes, Christianity.
Well, as far as the general mythos goes, a lot of the time, the fruit of the knowledge of tree of good and evil is generally portrayed as an apple, generally of a strange color.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking.
Okay. Generally. So an apple, technically in Western tradition, since most of the West is considered, Christian or Catholic, apples represent original sin. And during the whole story about Barbosa telling about the cursed Aztec gold, the whole thing about heathen gods, and then what they have to do to lift the curse, it's punctuated by apple, and pretty much that whole color. I've been around apples. I mean, you're hard pressed to find someone who's never been around an apple. But they're never that. I've never seen any apple that was that solid of a color or that perfect.
Granny Smith.
I know it was a Granny Smith. I've seen Granny Smiths. I've never seen one that was that pertinent. It's always been like it's green on one side and it's kind of like pale or bruised on another. Maybe there's a little bit of yellow on that one. That was like perfect.
Okay, was that artificially made? No, it's not, because he took a bite out of it.
I know.
What
I'm trying to get.
Sorry, sap went through the entire produce aisle looking for the perfect apple for this shot.
I don't know, but what I'm trying to get at is that whole speech, the whole apple thing, kind of, as well as the apple, it kind of ties into that whole thing of original sin, because it was their greed, their sins that cursed them to begin with.
Yeah.
Which was the moment when I rewatched this, I mean, this like blew my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah. Jeffrey Rush, character Barbosa. I mean, I'm glad he came back for the sequels. because
Oh yeah.
he was a perfect character, a perfect villain.
Oh my gosh, yes. I don't know. Is he better than Vigo?
Mm, should we really do like a ranking best of the best?
Of what villain?
Yes, of villains.
That could be a separate video.
I don't know. Everyone has their own, preferences of what makes a good villain.
True. On the hamminess scale, where is he?
Oh, on the hamminess.
I'm bringing this back.
I'd say, what's Gary Oldman level of over the topness? Because let's see, it's not so over the top. It's not over the top in that you don't care, but it's over the top that you can laugh at, but you still take it seriously.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, great villain, and I guess we've put this off long enough.
Yep. So, all right, so yeah, we move on to Jack Sparrow.
Dun 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 dun. The worst pirate we've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me. I was actually expecting you to correct me in saying Captain Jack Sparrow.
Well, it says quote right here. It actually has quote Captain Jack Sparrow on Wikipedia. Even Wikipedia's snubbing Jack.
Well, you need a ship to be a captain.
He had one.
Yeah, that was taken from him, so no ship.
No, when he showed up at the dock.
Oh yeah, but then it sunk. Which you got?
Can we even call that a ship?
I think it's more of a schooner. A sailboat.
Not even.
A raft.
It looked like a crappy whaling boat.
I don't know, but anyway.
The way he shows up into the film is just subverts every expectation you have. I know I'm sort of hijacking the conversation right now, but
no, go ahead.
The way he shows up subverts, like, it sets up your expectation. A captain standing next to the crow's nest, looking out at the sea, wind blowing his hair back. He looks glorious. And then he swings down into a half-sunk boat that's filling with water, bailing it out. And then he's just slowly moving towards, and you see, the 3 hung dead pirates and the sign that says "Pirates, ye be warned." Takes off the cap, salutes his dead brethren, I guess. And then as he approaches the dock, he stands on the top of the sail, and as he, I guess, glides up to the dock, the ship is just going down and down and down until he can just step off of the sail and onto the dock.
It's funny, but I gotta say that still is a way to make an entrance. I mean, stars had to align, and well, I guess also currents had to align perfectly so that the ship sunk at the perfect level, so he could just step off without missing a beat.
And even the guy that manned the dock tried to charge him to park his boat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shilling to park your boat there, sir. How about 3 shillings? And we'll forget the name. Welcome aboard, Mr. Smith.
And then he just swipes the bag of coins.
Yeah, he just shakes it to see how much is in there. And
pirate.
Of course. But Johnny, it says right here, I got to do this before my computer dies. When he was acting out this for the first time, he based his performance on Keith Richards.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney execs questioned him. Where is that? Where did I see that? Something about him either being drunk or gay. I think the Disney execs were questioning. Yeah, right here. Disney executives were confused with his performance, asking Depp whether the character was drunk or gay. And Michael Eisner at one point proclaimed, quote, "He's ruining the film." Even Bruckheimer was slightly uncomfortable with Depp's decision to actually cap his teeth with gold. Depp later recalled, "I said, look, these are choices that I made. You know my work. So either trust me and give me the boot." And luckily they didn't.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Because, yeah.
You drunk or gay?
Drunk or gay. This was the early 2000s. I mean, we haven't made it. They haven't made it to where we are right now. So just go with it.
Yeah. But the fact that they said that, it just gets funnier over time.
So, all right. So for any of you who don't know, Keith Richards is actually the guitarist for the classic rock, British Invasion, the Rolling Stones, and the reason why Depp based his characterization of Sparrow is because he kind of said that pirates were kind of equivalent to rock stars in those times, and you know what? I guess it's kind of funny because Keith Richards would actually appear in the sequel. He plays Jack's father. You didn't know that, did you, Ian?
I did not. Okay, we have to do the sequels now. At some point.
At some point, yeah. Yeah. Depp is just, like I said, this was actually the first time I've seen Johnny Depp in a movie. And turns out this would be the kind of role he would kind of continue to play on, the kind of weird, out of touch, just square peg and round hole character.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's the one you'll always pick out.
Yes, and I gotta say his version of a pirate is this. It's kind of what his take on the whole idea of a pirate is kind of what gives it a fresh perspective. I mean, you think that pirates are supposed to be like bloodthirsty or and like Snively or Weasley. Jack is clumsy, and he just gets out of situations by sheer dumb luck.
Oh my god. The way he first escapes being shot at by a squadron of British soldiers with muskets. Granted, muskets are not the most accurate firearm, but still, you got a whole bunch of them. One's bound to hit you. Somehow he manages to escape unscathed.
But now, even though he is clumsy and escapes by dumb luck, there's a certain amount of cunning to him. After he escapes the gunfire, and the redcoats are searching for him, the camera just dollies into a blacksmith holding a sword, the statue of the blacksmith holding a sword, and then the sword retracts, and it's like, oh, he hid behind it. Clever.
He is that weird combination of dumb and clever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has his moments.
Well, don't we all?
It's true. I guess that's also what kind of makes him relatable. You don't expect a lot from him, and then when he does that that apparently gives him the advantage to just pull one over on you.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite just sequences with him is where he's sword fighting with Will Turner.
Yes.
Everything that happened there is pure gold.
Yes, I love that too. That's one of my favorite scenes too. From the choreography, the music, even the dialogue.
And not to mention just the antics.
I love that. I love that the first thing that he says to Will is, "You seem somewhat familiar. Have I threatened you before?" It's funny, but in hindsight it makes sense.
It does, yeah.
Also, yeah, just the way he speaks. Depp makes Johnny Depp. Depp makes Jack Sparrow seem to talk like he's an instrument or something. and that's why apparently he's like so good. It's like he's so good at convincing someone to do something they would never do.
Yeah.
Oh, worst. maybe the worst pirate, but he's not that bad of a pirate.
No. If he's the worst, then who's the best?
Captain Hook.
He got beat by a child.
I didn't. Oh, you're actually looking for an answer? I don't have one. Oh yeah, and all right. So it's because of Captain Jack Sparrow. We have Sparrow's words of wisdom, which they don't make sense. You give them some thought and they kind of do. I especially love before the final sword fight happens. He goes, "Me, I'm dishonest. And a dishonest man you can always trust to be dishonest. Honestly, it's the honest ones you got to watch out for, because you can never predict when they'll do something incredibly stupid."
Or something like, wait for the opportune moment.
Mm-hmm.
If you were waiting for the opportune moment, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. The characters Sparrow and Turner, they had such great chemistry together, and it's also kind of sort of what pisses me off about the sequels, because it sort of comes across like they're friends or comrades, I guess, in a way, and then they just become enemies. The fun in the rescue scene, the way they moved, they were just like, they were in tune with each other. They were in sync.
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway, the impact of this movie was so great that Disney Park. I think that's all of the more interesting characters, unless you want to talk about, Pentel and Raggedy, the comic relief duos.
Nah.
No, the pirate versions of Timon and Pumbaa, Pain and Panic, Flit and Miko.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I love it when they just when they irritate each other so much and they just literally come to blows.
Mm-hmm.
I find that for some reason that slapstick is just hilarious, because in front of the British soldiers watching them through the telescope, they're fucking each other in skeleton and literally strangling each other while wearing dresses.
How did it lead up to that? He goes, I already feel like a fool. You look nice though.
And then it comes to blows. And everyone's going, what's that?
All right. Okay. All right. So now we can go to like the impact that this film had. I mean, aside from on the Disney parks, they actually added the characters Sparrow and Barbosa into the rides.
Of course they did. That's right, because this movie was based on a theme park ride.
It was, yes. In fact, many of the scenes in the ride would kind of be used in the movie. More importantly, the prisoners trying to beg the dog over with a bone.
Yeah, puppy.
Spoiler alert, in the ride, the dog never moves.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, missed opportunity.
No, that in the ride. That's kind of the reason behind the whole line in the movie. You can keep doing that forever. That dog is never going to move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, of course, it led to about three sequels, or 4 now. 4. Yeah, sorry, I haven't seen Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Neither have I. I've heard it's not good, but I might watch it just cause.
Maybe. And they're okay. I mean, they still generated a lot of money from, for the studio, but there wasn't really that spark that the first one had, in my opinion. But then again, I'm going off of memory.
Yeah, I don't remember too much. It's been a while though.
The characters were so popular. I think even the character Jack Sparrow was probably put in a Kingdom Hearts game, because of, Disney property.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Depp's way of delivering, lines of delivery. That's now on the list of, imitators or voice actors, that kind of thing, along with, Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Joker.
Yep. Oh, and all the charity work that Depp has done since even this movie came out, where he dresses up in costume as Jack Sparrow and goes to children's hospitals.
Of course. Actors still do that, but it's nice that actors know of how kind of important how big of an impact their role had on someone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's not really much for impact. How about where they actually filmed this? They actually did film this around in the Caribbean. If I remember correctly. Let's see, filming locations. So I really like that they got the actual authentic setting for most of it, because then the actors, if they're hot and tired and sweaty, in the Caribbean, or if there's a scene that calls for that, there's really no pretending in that. Come on, there we go. Filming and production. The Dominican Republic, the Saint Vincent and Grenadines. Of course, yes. There were some studio work. I'm pretty sure, I'm sure the climax was filmed in a pool and on a sound stage.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure for the actual ocean scenes, maybe even the island scenes, those and the island scenes or the dock scenes, those actually were filmed in the Caribbean area. So
Cool.
which I like. I mean,
You want to go?
I don't know. Maybe when the pandemic's over.
Yeah.
And I like it when studios do that, because nowadays things can be faked. Nowadays, I mean, nothing against that. I mean, technology has gotten so advanced that green screen might even be becoming obsolete, because they can actually project live backgrounds.
Not the green screen.
It's really an old technique called rear projection, but it's been upgraded. I mean, it's not close to being like consumer level yet, so it's mostly studios making use of it. But actually, the Dauntless or the Interceptor. Okay, what I'm trying to get at, those were real ships that were being used.
I think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, they didn't blow up a real ship. It was a model. Again, old school technique. So yeah, that was a real ship that was used as the Interceptor. Let's see. I believe it was called the Lady Washington. Let me see.
You know what they say when you change a ship's name.
What, is it bad luck?
It is very bad luck.
It was still the same can be said about an actor's name. The ship is still is an actor.
Does that apply to ship?
They treat ships like they're real people. Anyway, let me see. Interview. There we go. The ship used as the HMS Interceptor is an actual ship, the Lady Washington, and is the official tall ship ambassador of the state of Washington. And apparently she has a good filmography. See, she can also be seen in Star Trek Generations and was used as a reference for the RLS Legacy in Treasure Planet. Another Disney movie.
Another pirate movie from Disney.
It has also been used in the show Once Upon a Time as Killian Jones, aka Captain Hook's ship, the Jolly Roger. So yes, ships can be actors too.
Okay.
Okay. Geez, what else should there be? How about music?
Oh, dun 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 dun.
Oh God.
Can we get away with putting in a clip in here without being demonetized?
I don't monetize these things anyway, but I'll still get copyright claimed. The last one got copyright claimed because of the music you used.
It did?
It's still up. I mean, I just can't monetize it, but there's gonna be ads on it.
Mine didn't.
Really?
Yeah, what the heck?
Did you use the opening?
What, for
Shrek?
Yeah.
You use it? Oh, well, apparently that's maybe because I got more subscribers then. So I got
perhaps.
Because I got more of a reach. I don't know who I'm reaching.
Neither do I.
All right. So anyway, the music. Okay, it's credited to Klaus Badelt, but actually, here's actually what I found out. Hold on. Now I gotta refine my place. Now I'm getting close. There we go. There's a misunderstanding that Hans Zimmer only produced Klaus Badelt's score for this film and didn't work on it himself. Actually, in fact, Zimmer composed the main themes of the film, while Bedelt did the rest. As a side note, one of the main themes was actually reused from his score from Drop Zone, and I know what score that is. I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard that score before, and it is awesome. You remember you remember the final sword fight? Especially between Sparrow and Barbosa.
Yes.
That kind of that bombastic one. All right, listeners, if you're still here, and if you have seen Pirates of the Caribbean, and you know that song by heart, search up YouTube. Hans Zimmer, too many notes, not enough rests. That's the full title of the song. Listen to it, and you will hear a similarity. And it is awesome. It is very awesome. So it says, Zimmer composed the main themes, which I'm guessing are, well, the final sword fight, as well as the theme, when Sparrow is escaping the guards and then sword fighting will turn her. That's all I can get. So Zimmer and Bedelt were pretty much collaborated on the movie, or just they did their own work. But Bedelt only got sole credit. I don't know why. It just happens. But being around movies so long, as well as listening to the music, I can definitely say that some of this music actually has a Zimmer feel to it. And the reason why the music is also so good is because it's, well, what I've been complaining about music nowadays is that it's melodic. It's lyrical. It's like you can put words to it and sing it. Movie scores nowadays, they're just so minimal. Just like one or two notes, and that's the theme. Same guy made that.
What the heck?
Zimmer made Batman. Yeah, Zimmer composed the Dark Knight trilogy.
What the heck? What happened?
No idea. Maybe he wanted to do a change of pace.
By going down?
I have no idea. Art is a weird roller coaster of a world. I mean, if you're not changing things up, you're stagnant. If you're stagnant, you're dead.
Like a ship with a hole in it. Okay.
Stop
That's what I get
blowing
for asking.
holes in my ship. All right. So yeah, the music is just awesome, and it feels swashbuckly, and it feels adventurous. Most of them you can say like, oh, that's Jack's theme.
It's all Jack's theme.
Pretty much, yeah.
And this music is something that you can, blare into your skull while you're doing something cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it just fits so well.
Yeah. And yeah, that's very good. I can't tell you how many times I've actually watched, or I had the whole final sword fight on repeat just so I could hear the music.
Da-da-dun, da-da-dun, dun, 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 da-dun, da-da-dun, da-da-dun, dun, 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 dun. Oh my gosh. I'm going to listen to this now when we're done here.
Uh-huh. All right. Okay, so we've talked about music, we talked about locations, the characters, I guess, and as well as their actors. How about this is a Disney movie, and it's very daring for a Disney movie, not just in its subject matter, but what it shows in in relation to the subject matter.
There's actual blood.
There's blood, there's people being hung, there's people being stabbed. Well, not being hung, but you see like the aftermath of that, but you see people being stabbed. You see people being shot.
Dang, Disney.
I mean, seriously, why doesn't Disney do that kind of stuff nowadays?
They own Fox.
Doesn't mean a thing.
They own Alien.
Doesn't mean a thing.
They better stick for that stupid, actually not stupid, I'm excited for it, that really cool sounding TV series in the Alien franchise. I hope they do that well.
There's a TV series for the Alien franchise?
It's coming out. Have you not heard about it?
No.
Oh, dude.
I'm just hearing about the drama that's going on in Lucasfilm.
No, there was like officially announced Alien series for TV set on Earth.
Ooh.
I don't know much about it. I've just heard from good sources that are generally reliable that that's coming out. So,
all right. So, Ian, the reason why I said that it doesn't mean a thing if they own Fox or they own Alien is because if Disney owns intellectual property, they have to whatever they make has to reflect what their brand is, and their brand is always like family fun, fantasy, that kind of thing.
Fun. Looking at their recent record, that doesn't really apply.
So how so?
All the crap remakes.
So it's sanitized family fun. Oh yeah. Hey, I didn't say it was good. I mean, I didn't say it was good. I'm just saying, like, whatever they own, they're going to make anything they make reflect their brand vision.
That's not what you do.
I know.
Disney, if you're for some reason listening to us, make it, in the same at least feel as the original when you didn't own it, when it was good.
I'm not talking about just the Alien series. I'm just talking about.
No, I know. I mean in general.
Yes.
In general, yeah.
I think really what we should say is that studios take a risk.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, seriously, bet on a different horse.
Shrek, I know we're going back to Shrek, but Shrek was a giant risk that even the studio and the people working on it thought it would fail. Look at it now.
Disney even thought that Pirates of the Caribbean would fail.
Look at it now. 4 sequels of varying, quality, but still 4 sequels. Healthy franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Decent-sized fan base.
Mm-hmm. Memorable characters. I mean, seriously. You also. I mean, you've heard that they're also thinking of doing just a female-led spin-off, right?
I have heard that.
With Margot Robbie, because of course Margot Robbie. I mean, she played Harley Quinn. She played Tonya Harding. Tonya Harding was a figure skater, apparently a violent one. But anyway, yes, of course, Margot Robbie. Why not her? Of course, I don't know what the decision is. It's been the last announcement that the only information we have was just from the announcement back in June of 2020.
Granted, that wasn't the best time for news, so.
No. I was like, what? But what about Elizabeth?
Give her her own show. Give her her own movie.
Yeah, give her her own movie. Let's see what happened. Like, what happened to Elizabeth after World's End? I mean, we know that. I mean, we know that she had a son. What happened to her after he grew up?
How much more badass and kick-ass could she get?
Let's see. Became a pirate king. In her case, pirate queen. So let's see. Next step up, goddess maybe.
They sort of did that already with Jack in the sequels.
When was Jack a god?
When he was like the chieftain or something to that tribe of native.
Right, of cannibals.
I don't know. Maybe she could be freaking like leading her own armada.
Yeah, or her own royal navy.
Why the hell not? That would be freaking awesome.
I have no idea.
Would it be possible for us to make this movie? Can we get we might need to get the rights from Disney, and they're kind of protective of their asset.
Yeah, not to mention the fact they got so much money, they can buy so much intellectual property. We'd probably have to pay a king's ransom to get the rights. Guess that means we have no other choice. We have to hold Mickey hostage.
Okay. What do we do? Hold him over the lake of lava from Shrek?
I don't know. Maybe we could make him watch. Maybe we could strap him to a chair, force his eyes open, and have him watch a marathon of the How to Train Your Dragon movies.
We could threaten to wide release Song of the South.
A lot of film collectors would actually be very happy with that news.
Yeah, but Disney doesn't want to do it.
True. Could probably also release the original version of Fantasia. They had to remove something that was insensitive.
They had to remove a lot of stuff from those movies. Commenters, comment down below. Listeners, comment down below. What can we do? How can we hold Mickey ransom?
All right. So, anyway, yeah,
I think we're running out of steam, dude.
We are running a little bit out of steam. I don't know actually how long we've been doing this. Probably over an hour. Oh boy,
over an hour.
Oh, well over an hour. All right. So anyway, I mean, there was some. I love the atmosphere of Pirates of the Caribbean. I just love the whole supernatural thing that the Black Pearl has.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know, the wide shot just before the ship battle. I mean, you see the Black Pearl, and there's fog right behind it. Like, it generates that eerie fog.
How did they do that?
How did they do that? I'm pretty sure it was CGI.
But
the fog for that, but I'm pretty sure for practical fog, they just threw a chunk of dry ice in the pool.
Just like airdropped in like tons of dry ice into the ocean?
No, not in the ocean. I mean, in the pool.
I know in the pool, but for, the fog around the ship.
I don't know.
Probably, yeah, CGI.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But I kind of like how, some of the smoke, the fog, and even the clouds, it kind of looks like an oil painting, and from that time period, and so that it's kind of a nice artistic way of bringing you into that world, because this is supposed to be a fictionalized version of the 18th century.
Yeah.
And so that was just a nice little artistic touch. And of course, yeah, and then there's, of course, the Moonlight Shafts.
Yes. Light beams.
Oh yes, I would not be surprised. Like, since they're in a cave, they probably filmed that in the soundstage, and they probably filmed that in daylight.
Yeah, with some like filters over the windows or something.
Yeah, like bright, powerful lights shining through. Make it blue to simulate moonlight, even though the moonlight isn't really blue.
It's more of a gray.
Or yeah, grayish. But blue. Yeah, but blue looks better in movies.
Yeah.
And okay, how about this? All right, the CGI, mostly of the undead. Ian, how does it hold up?
Pretty well. I mean, this isn't that old of a movie. It still holds up pretty well.
It is kind of obvious, but most CGI from that time period was pretty obvious. But I mean, yeah, it's not. Yeah, I agree. It does hold up pretty well.
Yeah, who did it? I don't think this was by ILM, was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
It was?
Yeah, Industrial Light and Magic.
Oh, cool.
And so yeah, I think my favorite one is, of course, the transition from living Barbosa to undead Barbosa, after the whole reveal.
I love it so much.
Oh yeah, and of course, there's that great line.
Oh man.
I tried so many times to actually say it perfectly with just my teeth. It's very hard to do that. You need lists to pronounce W's and all that. That's why my ventriloquist career never took off.
You had a ventriloquist career?
Well, it was more of an idea. It was more of an idea that I just never followed through with.
Ah.
Yes, I thought it would kind of be fun, actually speaking without moving your mouth. It was an interesting concept to me, but I digress.
Yeah. But
like I said, I kind of like how this kind of portrayed people, as real as well as kind of an authentic time. How they were treated in that time, especially especially how Elizabeth was kind of treated, or at least told to act, and Norrington, he's kind of a douche.
He really is.
Which is why I hope this movie doesn't get rebooted, because because then they'll probably be treated exactly like all the other reboots. Yeah.
I hope not.
Right.
Why would they reboot it? It's still new. It's less than 20 years old.
They remade The Karate Kid, and that wasn't and that was also an 80s movie. That there was the same time difference.
I'm not saying it's good.
All right, so let's get back on a more positive note.
Yeah.
Last one before we get into the ratings, until I think of something else, if I do. So this movie has a lot of memorable lines, memorable quotes that people still quote to this day. Ian, what's your favorite line?
Oh my gosh, just about anything that comes out of Johnny Depp's mouth.
Oh yeah, it is kind of hard, especially the running joke in the franchise. Why is the rum gone?
Wait! You've burned the food. You've burned the rum.
The shame.
Why is the rum gone?
It's like because it is a vile drink that turns the most respectable gentlemen into complete scoundrels, and second, that flame is 1,000 feet high. The entire Royal Navy is looking for me. Do you think anyone is going to miss that? But why is the rum?
Why is the rum gone?
Let's... Oh boy.
Oh, man.
anything out of Johnny Depp's mouth? I think Jeffrey Rush did have some good lines too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And also he was able to play a funny, even to deliver a line that's supposed to be funny, very serious. Like when I rewatch, the first blood sacrifice scene. I mean, when I really looked into that, it's they force her to bend forward and then take a knife. And I mean, I was 13, but I still did not know what South American and Middle American sacrifices were for those tribes, how they were done. I didn't know that they were so bloody.
You think the Aztecs only did, the cut the throat thing, dude?
No, I know I'm pretty sure the Incans and Mayans did. I said South American and Middle American.
I know. You think that Aztecs, all they did was cut the throat?
No, I didn't say that.
You know what they actually did?
They cut out the still beating heart.
There you go.
I know they did.
Come on, Disney, come on!
What I'm saying is that I did not know about rituals for those main three tribes, that they were so bloody. But now, when I rewatch the movie and I see like, oh my god, anyone old enough to know what's going on, they're probably gonna think, oh my god, they're gonna cut her throat. They're gonna cut her throat, and then grabs a hand, and Elizabeth's reaction pretty much mirrors the audience. That's it? What? Waste not. That was brilliant.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that really was.
It really was brilliant. This whole movie is just brilliant in keeping some of the traditional pirate tropes, but also but modernizing them so that it's fresh and new. All right, best line from Barbosa is of course, why thank ye, Jack. You're welcome. Not you, we named the monkey Jack.
Oh boy.
Just as a funny line. For serious lines, his monologue about the Aztec gold.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just perfectly done, perfectly paced, and the lighting is beautiful. It's just beautiful. You got anything else, Ian?
I like the blacksmith one line when he wakes up drunk.
Oh.
After the whole fight, he smash. Just doing my civic duties.
I wonder what woke him up. You think it was probably the sand dust that was blown?
Maybe.
Probably. He seems like that kind of blacksmith that would not want anyone messing around with his stuff.
Oh yeah.
Of course, Jack was technically messing around with it, but then again, he was hammering an anvil. It's like being in New York City. Everyone, cars driving by, horns honking. Just another day.
Yeah. Not to mention he was passed out drunk.
True.
Although Jack was that way quite a bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I feel like he went through most of the freaking movie drunk?
Why do you
I feel like he went through the whole, not, Johnny Depp, but it feels like Jack was drunk through most of the movie.
He probably was.
Where's the rum gone?
Yeah. I kind of think Okay, I love the running joke with parlay, especially how much it seems it seems to irk. I don't know what the name of the character. We know the names of those two comic reliefs, but they never do. But they never do specify who their names are. They never mention their names in the movie. But I just like how it's that he hates hearing the word parlay.
Yeah, it gets used so much. It's like, if any of you so much utter the word parlay.
Yeah. And you know the irony when the curse is lifted and they're surrounded by soldiers. What does he do? Parlay? All right, so, oh yeah, I think that's it. I think we can bring this to a close. Ian, rating.
Easily 9 out of 10.
And I'd have to agree. A 9 out of 10 for good casting, good performances, good music, and also just a great concept.
Oh my god, yeah.
All right, so yeah, that concludes Nerdvana podcast. Hopefully everyone is still around. But we will see you next month for whatever movie we're going to review next time.
Yeah, I have no clue at this point.
You-
We'll find something. We always do.
Yes, we do. So, until next time, this is John Murphy
And Ian Benoit.
signing off.
See ya, guys.